What if I told you that the NBA season we're witnessing right now isn't just exciting, it's borderline cinematic? Imagine a league where a young super team is smashing records like it's playing on rookie difficulty, another squad is stealing every rebound in sight like they're farming XP, and a former bottom feeder is suddenly acting like it accidentally downloaded a championship cheat code. That is exactly what the 2025-26 NBA season feels like. And trust me, once we start breaking it down, you're gonna see why fans, analysts, and even former players can't stop talking about it. But before we go deep into the chaos, buckle up, because what's coming next might just change the way you think about this season, and maybe even about your favorite team. Let's kick things off with the Oklahoma City Thunder, the team that looks like it woke up one morning and decided to cosplay the 2016 Warriors. A 15-1 start is ridiculous for any team, but for a roster this young, it's borderline unfair. They're not squeaking out wins, they're dismantling teams. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's playing like a man who's tired of being called underrated. He drops 30+ every night like it's part of his morning routine. Meanwhile, Chet Holmgren looks more like a video game build than a real human being. He blocks shots he has no business blocking, stretches the floor, and plays with a calm confidence you don't see in second-year players. And the scariest part? They haven't had a fully healthy squad yet. Once Jalen Williams returns at 100%, this team might start speed-running the season. If the Thunder continue like this, we could legitimately be witnessing a 70-win campaign, something we haven't seen in decades. Now shifting to the Houston Rockets, a team that plays basketball like it's a full contact sport. These guys rebound like someone told them that every missed shot contains the secret to immortality. They attack the offensive glass with a hunger that's honestly exhausting just to watch. And that effort, it pays off. When your offense cools down, you don't panic. You grab the board and get another chance, and another, and another. That's the Rockets' identity, relentless pressure. Their wings are flying around, their bigs are bullying defenders, and their guards are pushing the pace like they're late for something important. On paper, they might not look like the most polished team, but they're one of the most effective. Right now, they have one of the best offenses in the league, not because they shoot lights out every night, but because they outwork everyone. Then there's Denver, the team that always looks chill until you suddenly realize they're up by 12. Nikola Jokic is still doing Nikola Jokic things, casually making triple-doubles look like warm-up drills. But what's really impressive is the growth of their supporting cast. Peyton Watson has become a legit difference maker. His energy shifts the tempo whenever he steps on the court, and that spark has saved Denver in multiple games this season. They're not perfect, and they've had stretches where they look bored, but when they lock in, you remember exactly why they're still a threat in the West. But the real fun begins when we look at the surprises, the teams nobody expected to cook. Starting with the Detroit Pistons, an 11-game win streak. From Detroit? In this economy? If you had told me this last season, I would have recommended you lower your 2K difficulty settings. But here we are, and the Pistons are playing like a team possessed. Jalen Duren has leveled up in a way that even Pistons fans didn't see coming. The man is putting up video game numbers, 24 points, 13 rebounds, and doing it with efficiency that would make prime Dwight Howard raise an eyebrow. The energy in Detroit is different this year. They're young, they're fast, and they're hungry. A dangerous combination in a league where veteran teams sometimes sleepwalk through the regular season. Up north, the Toronto Raptors have quietly pieced together a rock-solid stretch. After starting 1-4, they cleaned up their mistakes, tightened their defense, and suddenly they're winning games they would have lost last year. Their forward depth is insane. Everyone contributes, everyone defends, everyone makes the right play. They're not flashy, but they're smart, and smart teams sneak up on you fast. Minnesota, on the other hand, might be the strangest storyline in the league. One of their stars is struggling hard, but Julius Randle has stepped in like he's determined to remind the world that he can still take over a game. He rebounds, he bullies defenders, he creates offense when everything else falls apart. Minnesota isn't the cleanest or most predictable team, but if they can find balance and wake up their slumping star, they could become a real playoff problem. Of course, for every surprise rise, there's a disappointing fall. And sadly for New York fans, the Knicks are the poster child for almost good, but not quite. On paper, the team looks strong. Shooting, depth, coaching, all there. But the chemistry is off. Some nights they look unstoppable. Others they look confused.
Karl Anthony Towns is shooting way below his usual level, and when your main scoring big isn't hitting shots, everything falls apart. Knicks fans are patient until they're not, and this season, patience might wear thin fast. And that's the wild thing about this season, is every single week feels like a different chapter in a story that refuses to slow down. The power rankings aren't just numbers on a list. They're snapshots of chaos, resilience, surprise, and sometimes pure comedy. Because let's be honest, even the worst teams in the league have moments that make you sit up and go, wait, did they just do that? Take a team like the San Antonio Spurs. They aren't top tier right now, but every night you watch them, you see flashes of what could be a terrifying future. Young players making unexpected leaps, rotations starting to make sense, and a coaching staff that knows exactly how to nurture talent. They're not ready today, and that's fine. But if you're an NBA fan who likes being ahead of the curve, keep your eye on San Antonio. Their growth isn't loud, but it's steady, and steady teams tend to explode at the right time. Then you've got teams like Miami, the absolute definition of you can't count us out. One moment they look completely lost offensively, bricking jumpers like they're allergic to good shots. And the next moment they suddenly lock in, play that gritty heat culture basketball, and remind everyone why they're always dangerous in the playoffs. It doesn't matter if they're ranked 8th, 12th, or 18th, the Heat somehow always find a way to creep back into relevance when it matters most. And honestly, that's what makes them one of the most annoying teams to face if you're a contender. They might not look scary on paper, but once the game starts, they'll body you, hustle you, annoy you, and probably steal a win you thought was guaranteed. And speaking of stealing wins, let's talk about the Orlando Magic. They're young, inconsistent, unpredictable, and sometimes frustrating. But they're also one of the most exciting teams to watch when everything clicks. Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero are becoming one of those duos that can take over a game out of nowhere. Some nights they look unstoppable, bullying defenses with size, skill, and sheer confidence. Other nights, well, they look like a group project where everyone forgot the assignment. But that's the beauty of a young team. When they hit, they hit. And as they mature, the inconsistency fades and the identity forms. If they make a small leap, just a small one, they could be a playoff pain for anybody in the East. And let's be real, consistency is what separates the contenders from the pretenders. Look at Milwaukee. They have star power, they have experience, they have depth, but they also have moments where they look like they forgot they're supposed to be one of the best teams in the East. When they're good, they're terrifying. Giannis attacking relentlessly, Middleton finding rhythm, and role players knocking down open shots. But when they're off, it gets ugly fast. This season's rankings reflect that unpredictability. They're good enough to beat anyone, but flawed enough to lose to anyone, too. And if they don't tighten up, the East might eat them alive. Now let's move to the polar opposite, a team like the Charlotte Hornets. You never know if you should laugh, cry, or do both at the same time. They'll have one game where they look sharp, energized, engaged, playing like they want to matter, and then the next night they'll fall apart in ways that almost feel scientifically impossible. Missed rotations, sloppy turnovers, decisions that make you question reality. The franchise is still trying to find direction, and until they do, expect them to hover near the bottom of any ranking. But even they have bright spots, young players showing flashes, moments of brilliance that remind you there's something worth building on. It's not hopeless, just messy. And then we have the Lakers. Oh boy. The Lakers are the NBA's version of a dramatic TV series. When they're playing well, the world watches. When they're struggling, the world watches even harder. LeBron, even at his age, still pulls off plays that don't make sense. He'll chase down a block, hit a fadeaway three, and throw a no-look pass all within 2 minutes, leaving fans screaming in disbelief. But the real question, the question Laker fans whisper in their sleep, is can the role players be trusted? Can the team stay healthy? Can the defense stay locked in for more than one quarter? The Lakers remain one of the league's biggest question marks, talented enough to make a run, inconsistent enough to collapse at any moment. And that combination makes them both thrilling and terrifying for fans. All of these moving pieces make the power rankings feel like a roller coaster. Every week, something changes dramatically. Every week, a new team makes a surprising leap or a sudden fall. And the best part? Nobody knows what the next twist will be. That's the beauty of the NBA. Unpredictability is the only thing you can predict. So as we wrap this up, here's the real question. Which team do you think is going to shock the world? Which squad is going to fall apart? Which player is secretly about to break out?
Drop your hottest take in the comments. I want to see who's really watching basketball and who's just pretending. And before you go, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe for more deep NBA dives just like this, and share this video with a friend who loves hoops as much as you do. Trust me, we're just getting started. This season is shaping up to be one of the craziest in years, and you don't want to miss what happens next.